Here's a video on standard deviation. When you have group data, this is a little bit more challenging. The formula looks a little bit different. You have to add a little different columns when you do this, and go ahead and write down these formulas. One is for standard deviation of population, and one is standard deviation of a sample. Okay, go ahead and pause. We're going to go through this problem together. So we're going to have you write this down. So the example is you have, you're going out to go bowling, and you want to find out the standard deviation of your 10-pin bowling. So you have your data set. If you knock down 0 pins, 1 pin, all the way up to 10 pins, okay? Then this column represents the frequency, how many times you did that. So if I read this first example, so you go out and bowl, you throw the ball, 2 times you didn't knock any pins down. Then this one represents throwing the ball and you knock down 1 pin 1 time. Then the next one is threw the ball and you twice knock the pin down 2 times. And you continue. You know, if you look down here, you threw the ball and you got knocked down 8 pins 13 times. Okay? So that's your second column, is your frequency, how many times that happened. So the first thing you want to do is you want to total your frequency. So what this represents is you threw the ball 60 times. So this is your sum of your frequency. How many times it happened. All right, the next column is we're going to multiply the frequency, how many times it happened, times your x. So I'm just going to erase this stuff here.
Kate Dellard, will you please dial 3702?
All right, so we're going to take 0 times 2, and we get 0. Pretty easy. 1 times 1, we get 1. 2 times 2, we get 4. We would continue that all the way through. So go ahead and pause to write those down. And again, we're going to go ahead and sum that number, and we get 420. All right, moving on. The third column is taking the pins and squaring it. So 0 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and then you continue on. Again, pause until you're ready to go. The last column is taking your F, this column, and multiplying it to that column. So 2 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 0 times 9 is 0. Okay, and you continue it all the way through. And this number is what we want right here. So I'm just circling those 3 numbers at the bottom. We're going to work with those. All right, so now we're coming over to our formula.
Mr. Walton, will you please dial 3702?
All right, so I'm just going to erase these for a minute so you can see what we're going to work with. So we have that formula right here, and we're going to throw our values in from our chart. So the first thing is the sum of f of x squared. I just lost my smartboard. The sum of f of x squared, so you go down to your chart and say, where is the sum of f of x squared? Right there, so you're going to plug in 3,284. Then the next thing is we're going to subtract the sum of f of x all squared. So we take that 420, and that goes right here, but we have to square it. Then the next thing is we're going to divide it by the sum of the frequency, which is right here, 60. Holy cow, this looks like a lot, but it's not too bad. All right, then the last thing is we're going to take that sum of f again, the sum of your frequency, which is 60, and subtract 1. Now the rest is calculator stuff that I'm not showing you here. You would square root it, and you get approximately 2.41. So what this says is the standard deviation of the number of pins knocked down is approximately 2.4 pins.